This week's Torah portion is called Parashat Toldos, and we read about Isaac and his wife Rebecca. And last week we had read about them getting married and meeting each other, falling in love, getting married. And now 20 years later, they have no children. And we read about them praying. Actually, we read about Isaac praying opposite Rivka, opposite Rebecca. So one commentary suggests that they stood in a room together, different corners of the room, and Rebecca was praying for Isaac to have children, and Isaac was praying for Rebecca to have children. And we read in the text that God hears the prayers of Isaac, and that Rebecca becomes pregnant, and as we know, she's pregnant with twins. So a fundamental teaching is that all of our prayers are heard by God, that every prayer that is sincere and heartfelt and comes with a desire to connect to God and to connect to ourselves is heard by God. It doesn't always get answered in the way that we want, but it is always heard. And every tear we shed in sincere prayer is precious to God and is stored and is held and is kept sacred. So Isaac prays, Rebecca prays, they pray for each other. And as we know, Rebecca becomes pregnant with twins. And it says in the text that Isaac's prayers were answered in the affirmative, in the way that he wanted. And it says that he was descended from righteous people. So I'd like to suggest an idea here that the reason why it is written that Isaac's prayers were answered is because his parents, Abraham and Sarah, also righteous people, also experienced infertility, also prayed for children, that their prayers, the prayers of Abraham and Sarah, came down and added to the prayers of Isaac, such that his prayers had greater weight and greater influence and greater capacity to bring about a change and allow them to be answered in the way that he wanted. So what we see here is a chain of prayer that Abraham and Sarah prayed in their lifetime, and that their prayers spilled into the future such that they added to the weight of Isaac's prayers. And when Isaac prays, that his prayers affect the future generations to come. And this is a good message for us, that when we pray and we connect to God and we connect to our inner yearnings and our inner intimate relationship with God, that our prayers, whether they are answered in the way we want them to be or not, are heard by God, and that they can have an effect in this timeline or they can have an effect in the future. But no prayer is wasted and no prayer is not heard. So the message is that there is a chain of prayer, that our prayers have the prayers of previous generations and our prayers add to the future prayers and the future direction of the world.